Okay, this is second half of Chapter 9's lab, where we're given the task here to read a text file named secret.txt and which contains 2 sentences. We're going to write a method that will read that file, separate into word tokens, process the tokens, getting the first letter of every 5th word, starting with the first word, and then convert that first character to uppercase. We're told to use the string builder object to form a word which will be printed to the console. Okay, I'm going to do the easy way first without the string builder, and then we'll use the string builder. Okay, let's bop over to the code. We have already started an empty class here. Remember how I did that? Well, let's go ahead and do that from scratch here. I'm going to go ahead, suppose I hadn't done that yet, and I want what they're asking for, write a main method. I'm going to let Eclipse do some work for me here. I'll close out these other files. Let's have a clean go at it. Right click on my project, new class. I'm going to call the class decoder, letting Eclipse insert the main class for me, and finish. I'm leaving it up to you to put header comments at the top of every Java file. Alright, so I want to open a class. I want to open a file and we've used scanners before. Actually, I can look at my previous time demo, see how we were using a scanner to read input. We're going to use that same thing, scanner. Well, there's other ways to read data. Might as well use scanner. We've been using that, and it's working fine so far. So I'm going to copy that line and modify it a little bit. All I worry about right now is opening the file. So let's put that in comments. Open the file. Alright, so here's how we did it with just reading from the keyboard. I'm going to call this my scanner, and instead of reading from the keyboard, I'm going to read from a file. Well, I remember from previous working with files that needs to be a new file, and the file class constructor takes the name of my file, secret.txt. And that file better be located in my project at the project level. There it is, secret.txt. And I already have the semicolon there for me. Now it doesn't know what a file is yet, so if I hover over that, I'll let it do the import of java.io, that file. And I see this, well, it likes to, since that can throw an exception, I could add throws exception to decoder or surround it with try catch. Now throws declaration is the easiest way, but I want to start getting used to seeing that try catch, so I can decide not only to print a stack trace, but to maybe actually print an error message. So I'm going to get used to using the try catch. And I'm going to double click on this to get just a view of the code. Okay, so if I have a problem opening a file, it will stop here and give me a stack trace. Okay, so then the rest of my code goes here because this will continue in the try section if that is successful. Now, in that file, I'm going to keep reading while there's something to read. So read while there is content. So the way to check whether there is more content, I will do while sc dot has next line. While it has a line to read, I'm going to read. So has next line is what I'm going to use. And then start my curly brace, it puts the concluding. Now in this line, I'm going to read it. So the string I'm going to read, I'll call it sline equals sc dot, what do I do? Next line. That gives me the next line in that file. Now, here's where we break line into words. Well, I'm going to have an array of words. There's the array, square brackets, words, and have it be equal to s-line dot split. And this is where I need to know what character expression will match the delimiter. Let's check, and we have to look at the code or the content of that text file. Let's open that text file. I can open that text file here, right? I don't need to have a separate text editor. So I see that spaces are what is separating each word. That is important. And it looks like it could also be a period. But since all I care about is the first letter of each word, I am not concerned that that one word has a period as its last character. Now, if I had single quotes around words that I wanted to skip over, then I would have to have a more complex delimiter. So I know my delimiter can just be a space. So let's go back to there. The delimiter now in the reading of the words where we split will be a quote space quote. Okay, so now after that, words should contain an array of all the words in that line that I just read. And now to get every fifth character. And for now, instead of building a string builder, I'm just going to print them out. Then I'll come back and do the string builder. Okay, so let's do the for loop. For int I starts at 0, and I is less than the number of words that I have. Words, remember with arrays, there is no parenthesis in the length. And then I increments, not by 1, but by 5, because we're getting every fifth word. So I'll put that in my comment. Loop through every fifth word to the end. So I'm not even worried about looking at any other word except 0, 4, or sorry, yeah. Uh-oh, did I read this right? 0, 5, yeah, increment by 5 each time. And what do? I'm just going to see what the first character is, printing it out to the screen. System dot out dot, and I'm not going to do a print line. I'm going to keep them on the same line, print. And then the character of the first character of each word. So the word is word bracket I, square bracket I, dot, since word bracket I is a string, oh sorry, words plural, bracket I can see how I can tell an error right away in my variable name, dot, there we go, dot char at. And it's the first character of that word, so that's just a 0. And I'm just going to print that out. And after the loop is done, then I will print out a new line. So system dot out dot print line. Of the empty string. That will give me a new line. All right, to run this, I can just right-click on that decoder and run as Java application. And it will simply run, and it reads the first character. Now, in the requirements for the project, it wanted the letters to be converted to uppercase. Oh, easy. I just come through here, and instead of printing out words char at, I surround that inside of a character dot to uppercase and put that words char at inside of the parenthesis, like so. Now I will get Yeah, let's see if it'll run that. Yeah, I can run decoder. See if it'll work the way I like. There we go. Now I get them all capitals. Okay. Next step is to, instead of system out print line, I want to do a string builder and add a character instead of doing this. So in order to do that, I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to replace this with adding a character to my string builder. Well, so in order to use that, I need to have a string builder. So let's do a string builder. Let's call it str equals new string builder. And I'm guessing we're going to have to do an import. Oh, create class string. Oh, did I spell something wrong? I forgot to put a capital B. Easy to forget those things. Very case sensitive. Now it should give me the option. Oh, it knows what string builder is. I thought I was going to have to do an import. Okay, now I've got my string builder, and now this time, instead of system out, I'm going to instead do str dot, what can I do? Oh, look at that, I can append. And what string am I going to append? Just like I was appending to the output, essentially, I'm going to just append what I was doing before. Copy and paste. I think it will be happy with a character or a string to be appended. Look at that, it doesn't complain, even though this is actually giving me a character. And now, instead of system out print line, I'm going to system out print line my str, which is a string builder, and it takes a dot. Is it a .to string? Let's try str. Oh, it doesn't know what str is because I declared it inside this variable. So let's go ahead and put that outside the while loop. So then when I'm done, I have my string builder still available to me when I get to here. There we go. Let's see what happens with this now. Run time demo, decoder, and there we go. We get the output. So that is, well, let's check to see if we've done everything they've asked for. Process the tokens, first letter of every fifth word, starting with the first word. Convert to uppercase, append them to string builder, we just did that, and to the console then after we've done getting the first letter of every word. So that one is done now. This completes the projects for Chapter 9 from the Java 7th edition